Hello everyone, and then welcome to today's episode of Debunked. So today we are here in Ho, the vibrant capital of the Volta region, the Oxygen City. So we are coming to tackle some common health myths and then questions people normally wonder about. So come with me, let's see what the people have to say, and then we'll share our medical insight. Let's go. Okay, so please, what's your name?
Imelda Enamesigi.
Okay, Imelda, I want to ask you some simple questions. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so is it true that drinking cold water and then sleeping on the ground, is it true that it causes pneumonia?
It's about to go down.
Yes, it actually causes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So what do you think is the basis behind it? Like, we've been hearing that since childhood, so what do you think is the basis behind it?
Behind pneumonia?
Yeah.
For me, so far, I've heard pneumonia is not only about you. It's not only caused when you sleep on the floor and stuff. It can be caused as a result of some bacterial infections and stuff. So they are all contributing factors to the cause of pneumonia. That's what I can say about.
Oh. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I wanted to ask, is it true that taking a lot of sugar gives you diabetes?
Yeah, somehow it contributes to diabetes, because diabetes can be caused by genetic factors and some lifestyles we live. So
She's a shark. Okay, so if I take in a lot of these carbonated drinks, like, would I get diabetes?
yeah, it would trigger it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hello, please, good evening.
Evening.
Please, what's your name?
Belinda.
Mr. Belinda, okay. So please, I wanted to ask you some few questions. Okay, so brushing your teeth before and after meals, which one is the best?
Me, I used to brush it before I ate.
Brush before you eat. Why?
Since I was born, I was used to that. So I normally brush my teeth before I eat. And people say you have to eat before you brush. But me, I took that one to be in the evening. If you want to sleep, after you eat, you can brush your teeth before you sleep.
And bathing. So how many times do you think someone needs to bath? Maybe once or twice in a day?
Here I come. Here I come.
Twice in a day.
So every day you have to bath twice?
Yes.
Do you have any reason?
Maybe when I bath before I come to work and I'm stressed up and I bath again, I'll feel really small.
Whoa, spin. Step in this.
That's my view of it.
Okay, please, thank you very much. So, Auntie, please, can you tell us about cocoa?
Cocoa re. Mi nya to cocoa no a. Na no li obene dumla a hedolele matogbi ademo. Amado bene du na mi. Sogbola ana o cocoa. Cocoa ma e wona ba madola a to da foji depeno no yide gazema. Ne o la gazejila wa devu. Ewu akolo nu pa ne nya ba ba peje sibe cocoa ya. You wanna chicken no? Ye le mi o mi agbo mi nya nenema. Ya ke le blunto me la, yi ko mi menya wo la. Nuka o he na vie na o ga ke mi awela. Kokoa enana be evu hanu la lam le wu. Anu na ne wom ko be koko to hwie. Evu hanu kokompa ke ko yi de koji. Ado afi wana wa chike. Ta evu to ha ofi wa chike dam. Kokoa vovom. Kwa na nku na amado a na nku a no ofie ono tugu amado la ha obe koko ya iwo ni Ta wanna no get cocoa and open kuhana bahobe cocoa.
Me you kwakwe. Loma Pacho, good evening.
Fine evening.
Pacho, your first thing.
Philomena je.
Okay. Pacho, bese mi bisa wasemu. In Brian, I was say, Unipano, I was say, Ojari.
He said I been 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
I didn't hear.
I didn't see. And you said they be ana unanti ana ko baby a. Now we no sweats. And see Ojari. O san ye be second and now san ye adwuma no na. And you said I be bonti. He say Ojari 3 times said yeah I know they be boa. Who want so cry about to me about 3.
It meant to be 5 times.
Oh, 4 times. So about to me I say so what there. About to me Ojari 4 times. So I happy bet. Only time at 3 times there. You never correct. I don't never boy.
I tell me that's it.
Yo, who's me that say?
What's Pacho Michao?
Na me Joso.
Pacho, your person.
Nana ya.
Nana yao. Pacho, adia your friend blue was what na?
Nana matsuda o.
What there.
Le kwa mafomuda. Enya zo matsuda mafomuda.
Okay. All right. Okay. Last one.
Blue ball no. I dey bi a no ba ko da na mo pese mo ye bibi.
Boyfriend.
Na ho sole na oba na mo anya. Bona obi ma be din. You are be din. Esa o ti mi kwa kan se. Any friend blue ball show ma ko be o ya. Any friend blue ball no. Oh.
Please, good evening.
Good evening.
Please, what's your name?
I'm Maslina.
Okay, Maslina. Okay, so please, I wanted to ask you just a few questions. Okay, so please, how frequently should someone bath? Is it once or twice in a day?
At least twice in a day.
Do you have any reason why?
Because sometimes, I wouldn't say sometimes, bathing helps you to feel refreshed and makes you feel relaxed as well. After a day's activity, you taking a bath makes you feel refreshed.
Oh, okay. So please, does eating of sugar, like plenty sugar, does it cause diabetes?
Yes.
Please, your reason.
My reason is because
3 days later.
well, I don't even know what to say about that. Genetically, diabetes is genetics. I know it's genetic. You inherit it from either your parents or when you have it in the family. So with that and you taking in a lot of sugar stuffs, yes, you are likely to be exposed to diabetes.
So when I take in a lot of this carbonated drinks, I'm going to get diabetes.
Probably, yes. You would, yes.
Please, thank you very much. But I am pastor with the sugar baby. I know somehow diabetes ana.
No crepa sugar will be in there. And yet, if it's a Bible climate, I said, you don't talk about bonnet. And they say, oh, sugar no, so didn't more so and so every say, when I so I no question, pass who didn't more when idea.
It is a minimum, sir. A drinks be baby. To me, mommy, a diabetes ana.
We patch and drink, and I sa plastic wine no. O don't know my eye okay ma so who say okay to go kana da okay ma no so. Nti sa plastic wine no more ba no sa drinks no kai papa.
Actually, that's you.
You so me da masepa.
So we heard from the people at the market. So I'm here with our medical experts, Dr. May Okawi Joshua, to help us debunk what he said. So Dr. May Joshua, you're welcome. Thank you so much for saying it. So I want you to start with this question. So the question on hemorrhoids, house, or what people call boo. What at all is it?
Okay, so thank you so much. I think this question is very important. We need to understand what hemorrhoids is. Usually people call it cocoa or pap. Okay. It depends on the language you want to call it. But it's as a result of the dilatation, or let's say the blood vessels become weak at the anus. So at the anus we have blood vessels there, we have cushions, and we also have some muscles over there. So when they become weak, what happens is that they end up coming out through the anal area whenever you are defecating, and that's what we call popo. Yes, toilet part. And another very important thing you need to know is that usually when there's an increased abdominal pressure, it puts pressure on these veins at the anal area, and then they become weak as time goes by, and then they come out through your feces. So you begin to see it's like, when you go to toilets, you can see blood in your toilet tissue or the stool, or you see it in the toilet bowl. So usually it's a bright red color, blood that you see. And sometimes they have pain. Depends on the type of hemorrhoids or the koko we are having. Now, there's something very important I want to say.
Sure.
At the anus, we have a certain line there. It's called the dentate line. Okay, it actually separates the anus into two parts. Okay, and if the koko or hemorrhoids happens above that line, it's called internal koko or internal hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
If it happens below that line, it's called external koko or external hemorrhoids. And both of them have different presentations. One of it will present with pain while indicating, another one will have no pain. And yeah, so those are the things. I don't know if one is the same more, but that's
I think that's the key to it. And then normally people who ask that people say the spots that come on their faces, is that one also a presentation of koko, or that's something different?
No. So I've heard it before. People say when you have spots coming on your face or you have an itchy eye, it's an indication that you have koko. That is not true. As I said, it's all about the anus, the weakened blood vessels and the muscles and the cushions over there. You see, God has done it in such a way that the anus has that kind of elastic ability to close and open when the feces is coming out. But when that ability also loses in terms of the veins and stuff, they will come out gradually. And take note that the presentation of hemorrhoids, as I said, you have blood in your stool. Okay, bright red bright blood in your stool, which usually does not mix with the stool. And you have anal pain. Sometimes some people will have anal itches. The anus will be itching them. Yeah. So it's not you having the itchy eyes that indicate that that would be a different altogether. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, that's fine. The second question I want to ask is the question on sugar and then diabetes. So does taking a lot of sugar actually gives you diabetes, or diabetes has a different pathogenesis or different something altogether?
Yes, thank you so much. I think this one is very popular. They say when you eat sugar, you get diabetes. So I remember when I was growing up, when I take sugar, I'm so mindful because I know I will get diabetes. But then diabetes, we have different types. We have the ones that are caused by autoimmune, and then we have the ones that are usually associated with aging and lifestyle. And we can also have diabetes in pregnancy. So let me first of all take this opportunity to try to explain it, and then I will link it to your intake of sugar. So the first one is the type 1, diabetes type 1. It's actually autoimmune. That means that we have a certain organ in the body that produces insulin, and that organ is called pancreas. It produces insulin, and this insulin pushes glucose, or the food you have eaten, the glucose, into the bloodstream. Now, a situation where your body starts fighting against that, the insulin producing organ, that's what we call the type 1 diabetes. And it has nothing to do with sugar at all. It's autoimmune. With the type 2, it's also as a result of your lifestyle modification, and also if you have someone in your family, let's say your mom or dad who has diabetes, it's predisposed you to also get diabetes. But the reason why also when you eat too much sugar, you get diabetes is obviously because of, you see, when you eat sugary foods and sugary products, what happens is that you begin to gain weight. And obesity is a risk factor for diabetes. So what it does is that once you gain weight and you have obesity, it kind of affects the insulin producing insulin receptors. So once even though your body will produce the insulin, the receptors or the surfaces that those insulin have to be applied before they absorb all the glucose will become like insensitive. as a result of you being obese, you having gaining some weight and stuff. So that's the reason why people usually say when you eat so much, start with head ideas. But it's not true. But then it's very important you to moderate your lifestyle. Don't take a lot of sugar. And, everything too much of everything can be poison. Yeah.
So my people, there you have it. The line between eating a lot of sugar and in diabetes. There's not really a direct cause, but then we talked about the type 1, the type 2, so you can take note of that. Alright, so the third question I'm going to ask, and then this is a question I think everyone can relate to it. So when we were growing up, when we are sleeping on the floor, especially during cold weather, your mom will come and then tell you, or maybe beat you or something. Oh, get out from the ground, don't sleep on the barricade pneumonia. So is it very true that sleeping on cold floors or taking in cold water, does it actually give you with pneumonia? Or then that one has a different.
Alright, so thank you so much. But let me just chip in a bit. Sure. I remember when my mom also tells me, used to tell me the same thing. So I remember when I do something and want to beat me, then I would intentionally cry and lie on the floor. And so she will rush me to come and beat me and that kind of stuff because I'm getting pneumonia. But it's not true, okay? So pneumonia is not caused by you being lying on the floor, sleeping on the floor, especially a cold floor, or drinking cold water. That's absolutely not true. Let's look at this. Pneumonia is actually caused by some organisms, microorganisms, which we have bacteria, fungi, some viruses. Okay, what happens is that we actually inhale these organisms into our system or from their environment, and when they get into our system, they go straight into the lungs. And when they go to the lungs, they infect the lungs and then cause the pneumonia we are seeing. So the person will, after you have been infected, we start producing cough, having some cough, then we're having some sputums, fruity-like or rusty-like sputum in the cough. Sometimes have some chest pain and fever. Yeah, that's a pathophysiology of pneumonia. But the reason why a lot of people say when you take the cold water or you lie on the floor is the fact is that they say it weakens your immune system. And so once your immune system is being weakened, these microorganisms can easily have access into your body and cause this infection I'm talking about. But with my studies, I've got to understand that it is not entirely true. If you want things that can weaken your immune system, you have conditions like HIV, AIDS, malnutrition and stuff, they actually weaken your immune system. So once those start weakening your immune system, you have this infection. It's actually worsening your pneumonia, not necessarily the cold or the cold drink and stuff like that. However, if you have something like pump cold, those catarrhs that is advisable you shouldn't drink those cold waters because they can also have a bit of kind of having effect on your immune system, which can also predispose you to pneumonia. So that means exposure to cold and cold water has nothing to do with pneumonia. However, just be mindful anytime you drink cold water or lying on the floor.
Okay, thank you very much. So the next question. So this is my lifestyle. Whenever I leave out from bed, I make sure that I brush my teeth. So I go to the tea, maybe if I have to eat 3 times a day or maybe twice a day, anytime. So when I'm going back to bed, I make sure that I brush again. So what actually is the right thing? So should I brush my teeth twice a day, 3 times a day, or how many times am I supposed to brush my teeth in a day and then why?
Okay. Alright, so this is for those who have done with brushing their teeth. Okay, so I spoke with this particular one. I had to speak with one of the dentists to hear his view on. So one of the things I got to understand is that when you brush before you early in the morning, when you brush before you take your breakfast, what that does to you is that it actually cleans the bacteria that are going overnight. As the result, when you get sleeping, they go overnight. So you clean the bacteria there and you actually reduce the bacterial load. So that when you take your food, first of all, it cleans that area and takes away plaque forming bacteria there, and then also makes the mouth very kind of fresh for you, so you can take your food during the breakfast. But then the advice that once you brush your teeth, especially you should not eat just at the moment, especially if you're taking acidic foods, because if you brush your teeth, sometimes it can erode the enamel, some parts of the teeth. And so when you take acidic foods, it's when you get there, it can cause significant kind of give some irritation and other stuff. So it's advisable that when you finish brushing your teeth, you should not take from nearly there some one before you take foods. But then avoid acidic foods. If you want to take acidic food after brushing, do it at 30 minutes after brushing. Yeah. Then in the evening, if you're about to sleep, it's also advisable that you brush it again to take away any particles of your leftover foods in your mouth, so that when you're in the night you are asleep and the bacteria comes there, you will not get any food particles to actually feed or to grow on. So that is it. So it's advisable that you brush 2 times a day, in the morning when you wake up, and the evening. That should be one of the last things you do before you go to sleep. And then always regularly visit your dentist if you have any problems with your teeth, so that you can really be in a good health. Yeah.
I guess my lifestyle is best. Yeah. Thank you. So this is a short question. So how regularly or how frequently should I bath in a day? Once or twice? And then before you answer, there is a school of thought that says that when you bath a lot or you take a bath a lot, you clear out some bacteria on normal flora in your body, and then when they leave, the other invasive bacteria can come in and cause harm. So that's the question: how frequently should I take my bath in a day?
Okay, so this is a very important one aspect, because at this point in time you want to know separate the voice from it's advisable that you need to bath once a day. Usually once a day. So the reason is that as I rightly said, we have the normal bacteria on our body, which is called the normal flora. Okay, and being in there has no negative effects on the body. But in a situation where you bath excessively, let's say 4 times a day, 5 and counting, what you do is that you kind of scrap all those microorganisms, the normal flora of your body, and then you leave your body for infections, chances of infection. Take note that the skin is the largest organ in the body, and the skin also protects our body, and especially the internal organs as well. So if anything happens negatively to the skin, that means that infection bacteria can enter and cause more harm. And I understand when you want to bath twice a day, sometimes because the kind of work you do maybe exercise, you sweat a lot and stuff. So bathing 2 times a day is not bad, especially in hot countries like Ghana, where every day is hot. Maybe once you bath in the morning, when you're about to sleep, you can just take your bath again. That would be okay. Yeah, but don't think bath, because you can take the oil. You have some kind of the morning to release some oil on the skin. So once you bath excessively, take away that oil, and then you expose yourself to some skin infections and unnecessary stuff. So at least maybe come bath once a day. Okay.
People who like bathing a lot. I know some people who come back like 5 times.
Oh, that's not the case.
Alright, so to the most anticipated question. Yes, please. So the question on blue balls.
Yeah.
You've heard this thing so many times. Blue balls. Does it really exist?
Okay, so yes, let me put the camera and see. So yes, it exists. Okay, so blue balls is actually what the streets call it. Okay, but medically you call it epididymal hypertension. Okay, so how does it come about? So you see, usually sexual arousal, blood flow through to the penis, and then to the testes, and in fact, supply is what to become erect for sexual activity to take place. But in a situation where the blood rush there for a long time, and there's no ejaculation or there's no sexual activity or ongoing, what happens is that it puts increase the pressure over there, and so the person will begin to feel some kind of heaviness at the scrotum area, or sometimes pain. Yes, and it doesn't mean that the person wants to become healed, as the word sound. That's not it. So that's not so, and it resolves over time. After a while, it resolves over time, and it's not an emergency necessarily. But in a situation where you have persistent pain, I'm sure you need to seek your doctor and for some medical checkup. Probably it could be a different infection causing that as well. So blue balls, exist. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so people, this is your episode of Debunk. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and make sure that you subscribe too. So we'll come your way another time with another video. Just stay tuned. Bye bye.